Hey, we have a lot of new faces here on the page, so I just wanted to formally welcome everyone and to take a few minutes to introduce myself. My name is Jennifer. I am a doggy mommy, a daughter, a sister, an aunt, a niece, a teacher, and a Beachbody coach. I began coaching with Beachbody April of 2015. My weight loss journey began well before that. But I guess before I get to my weight loss journey, I need to start with my story. I have never publicly shared my story, and I think that now's the time. So, those of you who have been following my page for a while, this will be new information for you. Like many people, I have had many ups and downs in life, and I have a lot of things that have happened to me that have negatively, impacted me. The first one being, my mom married outside of her race, and because of that, part of her family disowned her. And you might be wondering, why are you talking about your mom if this is your story? Well, it negatively affected me personally because, I had family members that didn't even acknowledge me and didn't, want to get to know me. And as a child, I didn't understand, I thought I was pretty fantastic. So I didn't understand why I had some family, that didn't want to have anything to do with me and my brothers. And I was very shielded in that fact from my mom, growing up. She didn't want us to know that we weren't accepted by everyone. So, she did her best. And it wasn't until later when I was older that I was able to kind of piece everything together. And I remember one specific incident. There was a wedding that was going to happen, and I was going to go with my mom, and I was going to go meet, my aunt that I hadn't seen in years, and I was so excited. And then my mom got a phone call from my grandma saying that we weren't welcome. My mom was welcomed, but I wasn't welcomed. So, we didn't go to the wedding. My mom, was heartbroken because at this time she had hoped that her family would be more accepting. And, it wasn't time. They just weren't ready. And now, don't get me wrong, not all of her family was this way. She had very strong supporters in her corner who didn't disown her, who stuck by her side throughout her marriage to her first husband. And, I love them to pieces. So please don't get me wrong. They're fantastic. So that was, one thing that was difficult growing up. Another thing was, being a child of parents who were divorced, and, the reason they got divorced, that's her story to share, but there was lots of negativity and things with that. So that was difficult to deal with growing up. And then finally, I was sexually assaulted when I was in third grade. I decided one day that I wanted to be a big girl and walk home from school and not take the bus. And so I did. I walked home from school, and when I got home, no one was there. Like the people where I would normally go, like no one was there. So I somehow ended up at a neighbor's house, and while I was at that neighbor's house, I was assaulted, and I didn't remember for the longest time. I didn't remember for the longest time. Your mind is such a powerful thing, and I wasn't able to handle that information for the majority of my young life. So I didn't start remembering until way later. I would, remember bits and pieces here and there. It was kind of like a movie, like you would get like a piece of a movie, like a film strip, but not sure where it fit. And that's kind of how the process was for me. I would get like this one little memory, and I would be like, where did that come from? And then, months later, I'd get another memory. And then, when I was 19, it just all kind of flooded back. And, I just remembered the majority of everything. And I was in disbelief. And I went out to lunch with my mom and I told my mom what would happen. I mean, it was traumatic actually experiencing the feelings for the first time. And having to tell my family, because we are a family that doesn't hold secrets, and so having to share this with my family, it was just it was a hard time. And without my family and their support, I don't think that I would have made it. I wouldn't have survived having that information. So I went to counseling. I worked through those issues. I dealt with it. And through counseling, I was able to realize the reason why I put on so much weight and I had gained so much weight was because I was using the weight as a shield and as a protection. And I thought that if I was fat and ugly, no one would want me and no one would be able to hurt me like that again. And so it was my way of protecting myself when I couldn't protect myself when I was younger. And let me tell you, it worked, and it worked for the longest time. It worked until it didn't work anymore. I, used that as a security blanket, so to speak, and I didn't get hurt, And it wasn't until I'm 35, so I guess I was 33. I went to the doctor and I got on the scale and I weighed 295 pounds. And he said, Jennifer, you need to you need to do something. And I'm like, Doc, I'm trying. I'm doing everything I can. So more time goes on. I go back to the doctor. I get on the scale and I weighed 307 pounds. And I was flabbergasted. Never in a million years would I have imagined that I would reach 300 pounds and surpass it, that I would weigh over 300 pounds. I just couldn't even, I would never have predicted that that was where my future was going. And at this time, I was then diagnosed as being pre-diabetic. I had high cholesterol, high blood pressure. The doctor told me, you're going to die. Like, if you don't get your act together, you're going to die. And I'm like, Doc, I mean, I don't know what you want me to do. I've taken the diet pills. I've done Weight Watchers. I've even done the cabbage soup diet. I mean, I've tried. I've exercised. It's not working. Nothing's working. And I thought, how can I survive sexual assault? How could I survive, dealing with the family drama and then die at 33? How could I do that to myself? Like, something had to change, something had to give. And I didn't know at that point what it could be. So honestly, I resorted back to binging and purging. I would do really well, and I would try to eat healthy and I would try to eat right, and then I would screw up and I would have a bad day and I would just eat everything in sight, and then I would be disgusted with myself, and so then I'd go throw it all up. And I obviously wasn't helping my situation, and things weren't looking up at this point. And the opportunity presented itself to where I could have weight loss surgery. So I did. July of 2014, I had the gastric sleeve done, and many people hear that I have surgery and they're like, oh, well, weight loss should be simple for her. She had some of her stomach cut off. It should be a piece of cake. I don't mean to say cake. We're not having cake. But it should be easy, and it's not. Weight loss surgery is just a tool. It's there to help me and to guide my weight loss, but it doesn't stop me from putting the bad junk in my mouth. It doesn't stop me from being lazy and sitting on the couch and watching TV. I still have to do my part. Yes, it gives me the ability of eating very small, but I could eat 20 small meals a day, and they could be 20 bad small meals a day. So it's still not good and it's not healthy. So I'm not going to lie though, I did lose some weight initially, and I wasn't exercising and I wasn't eating right. But because I was eating so little, I did lose some weight. And I was excited and I was proud. But then it hit me like, I'm going to so be that girl who has weight loss surgery and gains all her weight back. Or I'm going to be that girl who had weight loss surgery and only lost 50 pounds and that was it. I didn't want to be that girl. I mean, I have come through so much and I've come so far, and I didn't want that to be my ending. I needed to make a change, and it was just like that. It was like a light bulb, and I came across my coach's like page, and we chatted back and forth for a bit. I was hesitant about this Beachbody stuff because I'm like, dude, been there, done that. Not necessarily with Beachbody, but with other things, and it just didn't work. So I didn't want to invest in that. And I still trugged, went along and still wasn't where I wanted to be and doing what I needed to do. So I reached out to her again. She told me about Beachbody. I decided, let's do it. Let's give it a shot. I did Insanity Max 30 and I hated it. I cussed at the TV every time I worked out, but I did grow to love it. It is my love program. Let me make a heart. It is my love program. I do love Insanity Max 30. It was a struggle and I couldn't do the exercises full out. I had to modify. I even had to modify the modify. But I showed up every day and I worked out every day and I did it. And I'm proud to say I completed the program. I lost tons of inches. I lost some weight and I felt better about myself. And I thought, hell, if I could do this program, this program was hard. If I can do this, I can keep doing this. I can keep going. So I became a coach in April, and I started with 21 Day Fix Extreme because, I think I'm badass by this point. I did Max 30. I don't need to do 21 Day Fix. I can do Fix Extreme. Yeah, no, don't start off with Fix Extreme. Don't take my route. So I did Fix Extreme. Then I did 21 Day Fix. I did a fit club at my work, and I got a whole bunch of ladies doing 21 Day Fix with me, and it was fantastic, and we were all getting healthy and working together and motivating each other, which was great. And then summer happened, and summer is where a lot of teachers go on vacation, can sleep late, can eat when they want, can eat whatever they want. And, that happened to me. And so I still worked out and I still tried to eat healthy, but I had a lot more cheats than I did before. And now brings us to school starting in August. And people assume being a teacher, there's not a lot of stress. There's so much stress. Don't let that fool you. It's not all rainbows and butterflies. I've been overworked. I've been overwhelmed. I've been stressed out. And I have been stress eating like a mad woman. These last 8 weeks, I guess, that we've been in school, I have not exercised. I have not followed my nutrition. I eat ice cream every night before I go to bed. And I decided, again, enough's enough. Like, Jennifer, stop it. Like, you've already done so well. You've lost 92 pounds. Why are you going to ruin it now and start, backtracking? So On Monday, I recommitted myself to Insanity Max 30, and I'm excited to go through this program again, and I can't wait to see what my results are going to be from that. But so that's where I am now, and I hope I didn't lose you through this video. I didn't anticipate it to be this long, but that's my story, and I wanted to tell you, I wanted to share, and I hope that, you know, I continue on this journey and do not disappoint you. I mean, you do follow my page for a reason, and I hope that I can continue to motivate you, and hopefully you get out of, you know, your journey what you hope and anticipate. So thanks so much. Thanks for taking the time to watch my video. And if you have any questions or want to reach out, just do so. Bye.